What's up, everybody? We back with another message, another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and future new subscribers. You know we do nothing here without God because everything is spiritually led by God over here. We cover the world from a spiritual and physical aspect to get the raw, real, and uncut answer. So anything you hear, anything you see in these end times, may you test the spirits, aka take the words and visuals back to prayer with God. As there are many Decepticons running around these end times sent from the enemy, had that strong, close, and personal relationship with God. Good, great, awesome. And if you are interested in that one-on-one Discord conversation, the information is pinned in the comment section and in the description down below. Good, great, awesome. So quick message here. Nothing is impossible with God. That scripture has taken me so far and trumped every inch of doubt people tried to throw at me, trumped every, well, ain't no ways people tried to throw at me. It trumps it all. Do you understand? This is how I got to where I am today. God could show me anything in any way because I knew that nothing was impossible with God in those moments. And I still know it. I knew that the Lord was speaking to me because nothing was impossible with God. All the times that my car started up, all this stuff happened where, most people probably would have given up. I said, no, nothing is impossible with God. And my car started. My car kept going. I did not get into those accidents. There was no way other than God why a certain car would start and get me in a certain situation. And the different stories I've explained to you all, I remember people didn't believe me when I came on here on the first videos when the Lord told me about Twitch and how that all led to the children and stuff like that. God knew what he was doing. I told people that I had an outer body experience. My bed was on the right. God didn't let me see my body because he knew I probably would have flipped a little bit. But Jesus was on the left, his presence. He wouldn't let me turn left or right. He wanted me to see what was right in front of me. Common theme. Look at what's right in front of you. And I seen Twitch and he said, thank you for helping me. And yeah, he told me the things that I needed to know because God was using me to help his situation and further expose what was going on. Funny how a gift like that can really be used to exploit the enemy's plots and plans and schemes, right? But people didn't believe me, right? They was trying to throw all these scriptures at me, but I kept saying nothing is impossible with God. Nothing is impossible with God. God can do what he wants to do and show me things in the spirit the way he wants to. I don't know what he gonna do. He surprises us. But I kept saying that nothing is impossible with God. But they didn't know God. They don't know him. But I do. And I know that nothing is impossible with God. No doubt, no nothing. When people tell me God will never, with this wealth transfer, God will never do that. God did never once said he wouldn't do that. People try to bring up the rich man and all that extra yada yada, and with their own understanding, ignoring that God gives you the power to have wealth, ignoring how the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Right? Ignore all that. So God can do what he want to do because nothing is impossible with God. This whole journey, nothing nobody has ever told me, even the naysayers that have come to me, anybody. I keep telling them, I say, nothing is impossible with God, and you can't tell me otherwise. Because he showed me that in my life. He has shown me that in my life. The things that I can tell people just from this year's standpoint alone, people would not believe me. But nothing is impossible with God. I met Michael in a human form being tested. I saw Jesus 3 times. I seen the enemy that tried to kill me in the spirit. I went into the hospital in pain. And I heard someone tell me to go back that day. I walked out of there, they ain't see nothing. And I ain't feel nothing ever since that day because God healed me from that spiritual attack. Why? Because nothing is impossible with God. My cars have started in some strange circumstances. In a blink of an eye, this channel went from 55 to just about over almost 1,000. And God told me before it happened because I was prepared. Do you understand? God had me fill out for insurance without a job. Hey, that's another thing. I didn't have a job for a year yet. God has blessed me with plenty because nothing is impossible with God. Nothing. The dentist thing with the insurance, like I was saying. I ain't had no job. I work for the Lord. And not only was I able to pay for just that cleaning and whatnot, but I was left with more than what I asked for in his divine timing, because nothing is impossible with God. You understand? Nothing. I made it this far because nothing is impossible with God. How do you do it? I get asked questions. Are you monetized? Well, where does the income come from? How do you do this and do that? Because nothing is impossible with God. He supplies me with everything that I need and what I wanted. Not only was I able to do what I do here, but he allowed me to go have fun with friends. What, Cedar Point, y'all probably don't know where that's at if y'all ain't from Michigan, but that was at the beginning of my journey. I was able to go twice in 1 year. And he made the day perfect for me and my two friends. We got on everything. VIP. Because nothing is impossible with God, and the weather turned out to be just fine. It wasn't too cold and it wasn't too hot. And I will never forget that moment, because nothing is impossible with God. Everybody had to look at me and my friends go in the line over and over and over and over and over as much as we wanted to. Because God set that day for me, because nothing is what? Impossible with God. So while you looking at your situations, you better understand that. While you going in a prayer questioning whether God gonna communicate with you, you better know that nothing is impossible with God. Until you learn that, you're gonna have a lot of unnecessary issues. Nothing is impossible with God. You're gonna walk into places that it's not gonna make it make sense, because God did it. The things you're going to get ready to see in this world that comes to you and many others, whether it be wrath or blessing, it ain't going to be able to make it make sense, because God did it. So once you get to know who God is, then you know that nothing is impossible with God, because the Red Sea parted now, didn't it? Where they do that at? They don't, because God can do it. Can't nobody else do it. And you better know it. Because when you messing with the God, the one and only, he gonna get you. And when you working with the God, the one and only, he gonna take care of you. And you better know it. So put that doubt away and know that nothing is impossible with God. Peace and blessings, and I will catch y'all in the next one.